What's going on? On this week's episode, we talk about Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her, many debacles since getting out of prison. We also talk about conjoined twins, Abby and Brittany. We got a big special occasion coming up. Talk about the Key Bridge and what little we know about it and the timeline for getting it fixed. We also talk about the passing of Chance Perdomo, Louis Gossett Jr., and Vontae Davis. Then we talk about the women's college basketball and how one of Iowa's players is being offered $5 million to play in the Big 3. Then we round the show off with this new scandal surrounding P. Diddy. Tell us what you think in the comments about that. And then the final story is we talk about a picky eater in the Am I the Asshole story. We'd also like to thank our subscribers, Pantera Girl, Colton Zamersla, Lord Reverend Professor Rester J. Lugnuts, Andres Valles the God, Kevin Garahan, Chantel Stadler, Colby Jordan, Kylie Gangwish, Mark Stadler, and Adam Pacino. Thanks.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I'm on it.
Hey, freak show! You're going nowhere!
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Welcome back, kids and coaches, to another episode of West of Nowhere. I am Levi.
And I'm Shane.
And we're back, and everything's the same as it ever was. To quote some wise poets of our generation, or generation before us, it's fine. Well, Shane, welcome back to the land of Pornhub and being able to access it without being internet expert.
Yeah. Dude, it's good to be back.
Yeah.
Like, if the camera moved at all, I would show you that one of my arms
It's just
is
massive.
bigger than the other. Yeah,
Like-
just huge.
Like Quagmire in that one episode where he discovers
just
internet.
like that.
Fantastic. Well, glad to have you back. You haven't missed much, I gotta tell you. I also haven't been on Pornhub in a while, so I don't know what was there before you left and what was there when you got back, but
I would imagine that
there's probably a lot
hundreds of
more.
thousands.
Just the sheer amount that gets dumped onto that website. I don't know if you remember, but a few years ago, they purged all of their amateur content, from non-verified channels.
Oh, no, I didn't know they did that.
And so, there was a couple videos that was save that for a rainy day, and went back. And then, so, naturally, my instinct was to go to Reddit to see what people were talking about. And people were fucking losing their minds. It's I've been watching this video for 10 years, and now it's gone. It's not that serious, dude. Find a different pair of boobs.
Dude,
I don't know.
It's not. It is that serious, man. So that makes sense, because there was a video that I used to watch pretty regularly. I was like, this is an amazing video.
This is my favorite.
It was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And then it was just gone.
Man. So did you not go as far as to learn who the fine lady was in the video, or what? You didn't want to go?
No, they
that
weren't
deep?
listed. It was definitely
Was it an amateur deal?
I mean, there was some production, but I think it was very low.
Low budget for porn standards
great.
is wild. It's yeah, there's a couple that I was, and I wasn't even on Pornhub, but I would say, I don't know, RedTube was probably my first one. And then there was one video on there that I tried to find and I could never find it. And well, game over. I'll just go with the scrolling through all the pages, But
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal for me. I'll figure something out, just you give me a sexy piece of wood that looks like it has tits, and that could do it, I got a very good imagination.
Okay.
I could just draw a pair of tits, really, if we're being honest,
I mean, with as good as you draw, you probably could.
I remember one time, do you remember that caricature I did for the Command Master Chief on deployment? They were like, the Chiefs mess asked me to do it. And what I was showing, I don't even remember which chief it was. He was an AD chief. He was bald, had a mustache.
Oh, man, you're really narrowing it down.
He reminded me of Jason Sudeikis a little bit, but if I looked at my cruise book, I could tell you, but it's out in the living room. Anyway, so he was like basically trying to figure out if I was going to be able to do this for them or not. And I was showing him some of my pictures, and he said, so you just said, fuck Playboy. Like, you can just draw whatever you want, right? Because I showed him a picture of one of the ladies that I have drawn. And I was like, never actually thought about that, but I guess probably. But
dude, you could just draw. You could draw art that you could just throw away. You know what I mean?
Single-use art.
Dude, here's a crazy concept. You draw a bunch of pictures of girls, right, that are naked.
Yeah.
And then you finish on them.
Oh,
and
my
then
God.
frame them. And then you have a gallery showing where it's just every...
Oh, my God. That would be hilarious. I wonder if I could put that in my senior showcase. No. Dude, like, I'm sure there's people that have thought about something like that. Well, actually, it's the raw sexuality of being a human. And what it shows is just the primal instinct of our unconscious mind. Like, you know how they always do that shit where they get all spindly. It reminds me of one of those apps you were reading off of before. This is the complete nonsense. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, and you could, underneath the picture, as it's hanging on the wall, you could have the before and after weight of the picture. Like what it weighed when you first drew it.
Oh my God.
What it weighed after.
Get like a little, like a postage scale, those little ones, you know?
Yeah.
The ones that
see?
people don't use for drugs. I know that.
Never.
No. Yeah, I think we're coming up with a lot of good ideas. Anyway, on to something completely different. Comments this week. If you will watch this thing and you will hear something or you want to say something to us, respond to our terrible art idea, go to YouTube, leave a comment. This week we have, I think, 10 of them, and it's mostly just Pantera Girl. Kylie...
Which is different.
Yeah, Kylie showed up once just to make fun of how red you looked. She's the first comment. She says, "Shane nice and red today, LOL." And there's 2 likes on it.
She's canceled.
Yeah, that seems illegal to say. But Pantera Girl says, "Shh, can't believe you revealed my secret identity to everyone. Here's the thing. You signed up for the Patreon. That's your fault. Like, you know what was happening." Yeah.
She changed her name.
On the Patreon? Hilarious. To Pantera Girl?
Yep.
So if you are super sleuth and you want to find out what her real name is, go listen to the last episode. And she continues, "OMG, you should seriously draw that superhero. She should have red hair, and her catchphrase can be walk on home, boy." And then she made the laughing emoji. Love it. And that was to her, Pantera Girl sounding like a superhero. And I could draw it, and then I'm definitely not going to do what Shane was thinking.
You can hang it in your art showcase.
I'm definitely not going to do that. But it's a great idea. Great suggestion. And then she says, "I don't know, Levi. Might have to switch to Shane being my fave. Still haven't got my stickers." Crying emoji. And then she said, in parentheses, "Is this part of the skimming?" Which there's no proof that I'm taking and embezzling podcast funds.
Back.
But here's the thing is I sent her stickers. It's not my fault she lives in Florida where the mail doesn't go, okay? I sent them and it didn't arrive. I'll send them again. I kind of just forget about it, honestly, but I'll do that tomorrow. I got it. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was gonna say that you haven't sent anyone stickers.
I sent Mark stickers. I sent her stickers.
Mark's not real.
Mark, you. First of all, you've met him, and we've all been on the podcast together at the same time.
Prove it.
There's an episode we could. I think it's episode 100, if I'm remembering correctly. But
You could have hired an actor.
just a stranger, and his wife, or another actor.
Yeah, just two actors.
Okay. Yeah, I did that with all of the podcast money that I'm definitely not stealing.
Yeah.
She continues. The story behind the red dildos is actually really nice. Cool to have that personal sentiment attachment. Thanks for explaining that. Update on the red dildo sculpture. I was informed by my brother that it's actually an abstracted version of a lily, right? I think.
Okay.
So the basket is like the petals, and then this is the stem. He showed me a picture, and I was like, "Oh, I can definitely see it," but I didn't know that, or if I did know that, I didn't remember him telling me that before. But I also didn't live where he lived when, like, I was in the Navy when they made that. I'm pretty confident, so it's like I wasn't around to know that. But anyway, little more extra context. Pantera Girl continue. I don't know why I'm continuing to say who she is. It's just Pantera Girl from here on out. She says, I don't have Max, so I haven't been able to watch Quiet on Set. I did see a response from Melissa Joan Hart, who was on Clarissa Explains It All and Sabrina the Teenage Witch, where she came out and said that she didn't really have any issues with that, but that maybe there was a difference between where she filmed in Florida versus the Hollywood studios. Perhaps.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they mentioned that in the series, if most of this took place at one or the other. And I think it all sounds like it was all in Hollywood. Like it was all
Hollywood, yeah.
So
the certain studio, yeah.
that is a good point. She continues, American Nightmare was crazy. You would think it was more of a movie script than real life. Yeah, they even compared it to Gone Girl while it was happening. Like the detectives are like, maybe you're getting Gone Girl, dude. I don't know. Like, and they're like, what? And this is about the Am I the Asshole? She says, yeah, she's being a bridezilla, and he should have stuck to his guns about what his capabilities were. So, ESH was, everyone's sucks here. Got it. Yeah, that was about the photographer, right? Didn't want to shoot and film.
Because he
should
made
have
the photos
Yeah.
look like they were shot on film, but they weren't.
Yeah, he should have shot on film for sure. I agree with that. Was wondering if either of you saw there's a new documentary on Stormy Daniels on Peacock, and opinions on that. Have not. I'm familiar with her other work. No.
Is she going to be one of the photos in your art gallery walkthrough?
No, I don't think I've actually ever seen her in any videos, so... Like, not even out of, like, morbid curiosity, like, I'm going to watch a Stormy Daniels video, see what all the fuss is about. No, I just know her from having sex with Donald Trump, so... Which is weird. Yeah. I'm assuming that's what the documentary is about. Haven't seen it yet. I'll add it to the list. And she concludes with, where is everybody? It's just me and only one from Kylie. Yeah, where is everybody? We even gave you an extra week to respond. It's the fucking deal. No. I don't know. Sometimes it just comes in waves. I'm sure you see it if you watch the show. There's weeks where you don't comment, so it's just like... Sometimes we get a lot of comments from a lot of different people. Sometimes there's only one person. Sometimes there's no people. Sometimes there's a lot of views. Sometimes there's none. Like, it's... You would think it would be like we just do the same thing or similar things and it works, but it doesn't. The internet is a fickle mistress sometimes, but
it really is.
Yeah. Anyway, so on to some big news. The biggest news from the last 2 weeks, I think, probably the one that's been capturing everybody's attention, that all of my feed is covered with from head to toe. This travesty that has befell the United States. Gypsy Rose Blanchard announces separation from her husband 3 months after leaving prison. Yeah. Pictured here is the lovely couple. Definitely not her mom and dude drag, but it's fine. Turns out, as we stated before, when when we read that tweet that she put out, the D was fire, and fuck all the haters, basically. Yeah, turns out the D's not fire enough to hold that relationship together. So she says, people have been asking what's going on in my life. Unfortunately, my husband and I are going through a separation. I moved in with my parents' home down the bayou. Okay. I have the support of my family and friends to help guide me through this. I am learning to listen to my heart. Right now, I need time to let myself find who I am. Which is fair. It's almost like you probably shouldn't have got married straight out of jail to begin with, but what do I know? Yeah.
I'm thinking back now. She's got to feel pretty dumb, right? For going out on Twitter or X and fucking D is fire. You know what I mean? Like that was. Yeah. You made yourself look real dumb to just go, oh wait.
And then 2 months later, after that, after being so confrontational, don't listen to the haters, fuck them, blah blah blah. D's fire. And then 2 months later, actually, fuck this guy. It's, I don't know. And again, she hasn't really lived a normal life, so I can't really say that, she knows better, but also, kind of, fuck this lady, dude. I was revisiting some of the story about her, and I feel like she kind of manipulated that other guy into a lot of things, and we give her way too much, sympathy in this deal. Oh, yeah. So,
definitely.
You know what? Pound sand, Gypsy. In other reality TV kind of adjacent news, the conjoined twins?
Yeah, they're getting married.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Abby and Brittany Hansel.
So, I've always wondered, does one head control the left side and one hand control the right side? Or do they both simultaneously control things?
I don't know. I haven't watched enough of their specific thing, because I know it varies, because there's conjoined twins that have, there's different levels of, where the nervous system is attached and what goes on, and I think it depends heavily on the, case-by-case basis, but
right.
I don't know about them, because I've never actually watched any of their show or anything like that. I've just seen them through the internet, essentially, so...
And this should be considered polygamy.
Well, I think... I don't know. I think it's Abby's that is married, not Brittany,
right.
Which
okay.
Feels weird.
They only have one vagina, right?
I don't know. I haven't looked, but
I'm sure it's on Pornhub.
No. Dude, you say that, but I did see I don't know if it was real or not, but I saw something that it looked like, I don't know. I don't really know what I saw, but it looked suspicious, and I was like, is that real? But it looked like they were blowing some dude. I was like, is this... Oh. Am I being AI'd right now? Am I being internet punked? But, so they have they're dicephalous conjoined twins. They share a bloodstream and all organs below the waist. Abby controls their right arm and leg, and Brittany controls the left. God. You know how...
Dude, imagine being a fight, right? And Abby or Brittany, one of them's banging, and the other girl's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want this to stop. So they use their side to just
their momentum.
Smack the dude.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Just start punching, just ruin shit.
Yeah,
she's blowing her husband, and the other arm just fucking uppercuts him. You know what I mean? Just ruins things.
Just punches him right in the dick. Yeah, that'd be
upsetting.
That would be aggressive. I don't really know how it works. It all makes me think of what's that? Stuck on You. You ever seen that movie? As that movie is a comedy, I think it did do a lot of it kind of opened the door to think about things like that, because it's that Greg Kinnear or not?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
what's
I
his
can't remember what else was in it.
Matt Damon. Yeah.
Wait, was it really Matt Damon?
Yeah, the other one's Matt
okay.
Damon. Anyway, nope. Team America, World Police. Anybody? Okay, just me. Got it. So yeah. Anyway, Abby's married. I don't know. Doesn't say in the article how Brittany feels about it. I'm guessing she's got to be on board, because I also saw that they get, maybe this might have been some nonsense, but it was talking about where they're employed and they get paid for a one person salary, which is kind of fucked
really?
up. Yeah,
yeah.
It's two brains, but one set of limbs. I don't know. Anyway, moving on to the actual thing that people have been talking about. The Francis Scott Key Bridge in Maryland that was struck by a shipping ship, a container ship.
Yeah, shipping container ship.
Yeah. That just seemed redundant to say, and I didn't want to be wrong. But anyway. And
a ship full of containers.
Yeah, it fucked that thing up.
Yeah, it did.
Real quick. The vessel lost power. I don't remember. I thought I saw that there was a fire on board, but I don't know. That could just be conjecture. But anyway, the ship crashed into this bridge, and if you look at the bridge, it's not one of those meaty bastards the Brooklyn Bridge or one of those big hefty boys. It's just a regular fucking bridge, and it crashed right into one of the pillars. And I don't know how much civil engineering our listeners have, but this ship's very heavy, and this bridge is also heavy, but not quite as fucking heavy. And when you take out one part of a bridge of this design, it kind of all just crumples, and that's what happened. And I think there was 6 people that were, because it happened early as fuck in the morning, I think.
Yeah.
So luckily there wasn't a ton of people on there, but there's 6 people that were couldn't be found yet, and I don't know how many they found so far, but they're saying this, that they're gonna replacing this or rebuilding this bridge is gonna take a long ass time. I'm it makes sense, but also, what happens when something like this happens? All the conspiracy people light up their sirens, and they're like, well, you're telling me a fucking ship just accidentally smashes into something? Yeah, when it's fucking nobody's controlling it because the power's out. Yeah, sometimes accidents happen. I just don't understand, and maybe it's because people who believe heavily in conspiracies are the same kind of people who just live in a fantasy they believe in enchanted things, where nothing just happens. It's always
Everything's on purpose.
Yeah, somebody's fucking doing it. Or human nature, shit happens. I don't understand. When the fucking container ship clogged the canal last year, 2 years ago, however long that was. Human.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Human error. That was probably conspiracy too. I wish I could live a life where I was just everything was a conspiracy, and I'm also always right about it. Have you ever talked to these people and they're just you can tell them everything evidence wise to the contrary, and they're like, no, I'm sorry. You're shouting nonsense. The eclipse is going to happen over Kentucky so that all of the children in Kentucky will be sacrificed, okay? That's just what's happening. Also, didn't make that up. That's a real thing people are saying. So,
what?
Yeah. humans are in a good spot. We're cool things are happening. I just wish I could live that life, where I'm like not concerned about reality because some evil entities are just controlling literally everything. I'm like, what? That seems way easier. Oh, I don't have to worry about any consequences because they're already gonna control it, right? So,
yeah, they have your whole life planned out. You have no control.
Yeah. What you don't understand is when you were born, the federal government issued a social security number, which is actually a employee ID number provided by the World Economic Forum. And it's like, holy shit, dude. Okay, put the pipe down and maybe take a walk. I don't know. Go for a swim. When's the last time you went swimming? Clears your mind. Clears your mind right up. The colder the water, the better probably for you. I don't know. Yeah. So, anyway, a lot of fun stuff happening. Let's transition into super fun stuff. Dead celebrities. We have a couple. The Gen V actor, Chance Perdomo, got in a motorcycle accident and passed away at 27 years old. The sad part about this one is the first article I saw about it wasn't even about him dying. It was Gen V production postponed indefinitely because of Star's death. I'm like, how about you lead with the dude dying? That's kind of fucked up. Like, I don't give a fuck about the TV show, really. Like, can we focus on the person that died? I don't know.
He was a pretty solid actor too, man. Like, obviously I only know him for like what I assume is his two biggest roles to date, which is Gen V, obviously, and then the Sabrina, the Teenage Witch reboot that Netflix did.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually haven't watched either of those, so I don't know him. But
I mean, you could live without watching Gen V. Like, it's just, if you're already watching The Boys and you like that story,
yeah,
then it makes sense to watch Gen V. But if you're not, if you don't,
which
I
do,
don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well then, but I highly suggest watching the Sabrina show. It's actually pretty good. They do a really good job. It's dark, and it's not even. I don't think it's funny at all. I don't think there's actually any funny parts. It's more like a dark TV show that also just has that character in it. You know.
Well, now we know. I'll check them out. This is a little more established guy, Louis Gossett Jr. He died. He's 87. He was in all sorts of shit though. He was an Officer and the Gentleman. Jaws 3D, heard of it? He was in the Roots TV show, the 1977 Roots. He's in the Watchmen miniseries from 2019. All sorts of different shit. Just kind of like one of those guys who, like, you see them in everything and you're like, I've seen that guy before. And then you watch like an older movie and you're like, oh fuck, that's that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's also sad. But he was also 87, so not super surprising.
Not unexpected, I don't
but
feel
still,
like,
he's a strong body of work behind, unlike the other gentleman who was just kind of getting started, which is, I think, more depressing. And then the other one I saw was Vontae Davis. He was
like the football player?
Yeah. I think he was a linebacker, right? He's only 35. Played 10 seasons, retired 2018. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what I said. Like, oh, shit. And also, how crazy that the guy, he was drafted in 2009, played for 10 years and retired, and like he was only 35 years old. Like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes the NFL messes with my brain with how time works, because I'm like,
yeah, I
remember watching Vontae Davis. I was like, shit, he's pretty good, because like that was 2009, 2019, 14, 15, 16 is when they really started paying more attention to the NFL.
Yeah.
It's a big hit. But it's also like, that was kind of a long time ago, 2009. I hate it. It's also just getting old, I guess. But yeah. So, continuing in the sports adjacent world, first and foremost, Iowa did lose the women's basketball national championship. So, suck it. But also,
Who'd they lose to?
I think it was South Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But here's the thing. Obviously, they made it all the way to the thing, but Caitlyn Clark's going to go to the WNBA, and I was going to be irrelevant probably, so, you know, that's all good news for me because I'm tired of seeing her face all the time. I'm getting like, and you probably, like, I don't know how much basketball you watch, but in 2017, 2016, Trae Young played for Oklahoma, and all of my fucking ESPN alerts were about Trae Young. And I'm like, I don't even watch basketball like that. Like, what the fuck? Why am I getting so much fucking bullshit from ESPN about Trae Young when I don't watch basketball? Don't like Oklahoma either, so it's like all confusing. And this is like that, but just, you know, the Iowa Caitlyn Clark version. And definitely don't like Iowa. And if she was on another team, I'm sure I'd probably be like, oh, that's kind of cool, but she's not, so I'm not. But they lost, and but
they offered her $5 million to play for the to play in the Big Three.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna talk about because I
sorry.
remember. No, you're good. I remember because you brought that up, and so I looked it up. And Ice Cube's Big Three, which is 3-on-3 league, for pretty much anybody that wants to play, I feel like, and is good enough, like, can kind of get into it because there's former basketball players. I think there's some. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there might be like some celebrity people that like have participated in it. I can't remember, but anyway, they offered. Well, he said that they offered $5 million contract, and she would still be able to participate in WNBA because this is like an extra thing. Like this isn't like an official league or anything, so she could still do that. And I think that would be interesting to see because, you know, the Big Three has done pretty well for like offering chances to, you know, giving women more of a spotlight in the sport because they've had coaches like I don't remember what her name was, but they had a coach that they brought over, and Lisa Leslie, as a coach, won the championship, the Big Three championship, in her second year. And then Nancy Lieberman was the first female coach of a men's pro team, and she won the championship in her first year. So his idea is like, we bring Caitlyn, something crazy might happen. You know, she's a gifted athlete. She's obviously very good at basketball. She broke that record that had been standing for like, I don't know, however long. It's like the 70s, the total points scored by a collegiate basketball athlete, men or women. So, yeah. Anyway, pretty interesting. I did win some money off of the girls' semifinal game, UConn versus Iowa, so that was pretty cool. Did a little prize picks betting action. And I bet.
So you bet on Iowa to win?
No, I bet on their players to do worse, like than what, because there was like a second half, like points, rebounds bundle. Like if they can score less than this in all these categories, so I picked less, and then I picked more for the UConn player, and it was a 3 pick, and I hit all 3, so I got $100. It's like, yeah,
nice.
They won, and I still won, and I'm like, all right, softens the blow, I guess, but. Yeah. So, that's sports. What else we got going on? There was something else I wanted to talk about. And holy shit. I almost forgot about it. Sean Diddy Combs.
Dude.
What is going on with P. Diddy? P. Diddle Diddy.
I haven't kept up with it too much. I just know that, like, the memes are fucking wild.
Yeah.
My favorite one so far is a semi pretty much parked inside of a car, and underneath the car it says aspiring new rappers, and then the truck is P. Diddy, and I was like, oh, man.
Yeah. And I don't see, like, I'm obviously seeing a lot of the the same things, but like I just don't understand because I'm not seeing where that stuff is coming from. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but like I don't know if there's like been some allegations thrown away around that are unrelated to, because he's right now like the FBI raided his house.
Yeah.
It's a sex trafficking probe, and which is not good. I mean, not a good look for anybody. But what I'm saying is like there's also memes about him basically like trying to fuck rappers, up and coming rappers, male and female, like.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen any of that. Like, I don't know where that stuff's coming from because it's unrelated to this, and I'm seeing more of this. But it's all very confusing. There's a lot going on.
Because from what I understand, it was an ex-girlfriend that came forward and said that he would take her places and make her take her flying to wherever, and then
Cassie,
he'd make her.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
R&B
Yep. And
singer
he'd make her
Cassie.
he'd make her like sleep with people, and so people are saying, well, that's sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess it is, but it's slightly different. Slightly different, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's odd. It's a weird thing to do.
Yeah. Not normal. So that, and she had brought a lawsuit against him, and then he settled. But here's the thing: is like that's like a civil suit, and the FBI raiding your house is not part of the civil suit. That is a federal investigation. So you can't settle those. You can't. I guess you can. I guess if you're connected enough, I suppose. But
Yeah.
or you just
What-
end up swinging in a jail cell.
Well, wasn't Meek Mill? Is that one of the rappers that like he helped to come up? Is that who it was? I think it's his name.
I mean, probably. There's been. I mean,
Well, there was. I can't remember the rapper specifically, but there was an article that people were asking him directly, like, did you have sex with fucking P. Diddy?
oh yeah,
And he like released some statement about how like that he would never do that.
Yeah.
That's not who he is. He's not gay. And I was like, I mean, if he forced you, that, then obviously
Yeah.
you can still not be gay.
I don't know.
It's-
I think in some
but-
some situations, I feel like people would still, obviously not a good thing, but there would be people that would still be like, I don't know, man, still a little sus. Like, he got raped. No, doesn't count. I don't know, man. Like, there's people that would still
Yeah.
judge him.
Well, I think in rap music, there's still that like overly
There's a lot of homophobia.
masculine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would imagine there's a shit ton of homophobia.
Yeah. So, I don't know. One thing that I did see about it was that fucking Candace Owens posted or like tweeted about P. Diddy getting raided. And if you don't know who Candace Owens is, she's a conservative talking head, essentially. Like, she's kind of the worst, but she's like on par with like Marjorie Taylor Greene now. She wasn't that bad, but then she's just like realized that, well, if I just grift harder and harder to the right, I'll get more and more popular. And she's right, that did happen, but all of her statements are kind of brain dead. So she put out a tweet that was essentially saying, well, look, now they're they're just making P. Diddy the fall guy. Like, the feds they're just trying to cover up other sex traffickers. They did the same thing with Epstein. And I'm like,
What?
why can't you guys just be happy somebody's getting, like, investigated? Like, first, nobody's getting investigated. Now you're mad. Like,
Yep.
to them, nobody was getting investigated. Because the FBI doesn't go out every morning and go, here's who we're investigating. Because turns out that's bad investigatory practices. But then they raid a house and you're like, see, they're just trying to make a fall guy. And like, this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, was this very cyclical conspiracy thinking where it's like, I don't know. They just can't ever be happy with things. I don't get it.
Maybe it's not true, because he was great in Get Him to the Greek, all right?
Yeah. I saw a meme that was like, that was just a documentary Turns out because he's like chasing them. I'll mom fuck
Yeah.
you. I'm mom fucking you right now.
Oh man.
Great movie. Yeah. So that's all I got.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you made it this far, stop what you're doing for like half a second. Click pause if you need to. Like and subscribe. Check out our store and our link tree. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. There you go. See, there's a shirt.
There's a shirt. I'm pretty sure you can't buy this one, but still,
Yeah, I know. It's
you can get one
not a thing
similar.
anymore.
Uh,
Can't. All right. Well, here we go. Am I the asshole for not buying my teenage son an adult meal?
what?
Very confusing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
Hello. Today, me, my 5 kids, and my husband went. She says hello, or he
Yeah.
or she. I like how they say hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. That was. I also enjoyed that.
Today, me and my 5 kids and my husband went out for dinner at a fancy restaurant with my husband's parents, brother, and 2 nephews. Damn, it's a lot of people.
Yeah. No shit.
My son, using a different name for privacy, his name. I like how they say that.
Yeah.
Just, like I think it's just assumed at this point.
Yeah. And also, how are we gonna know who your son is by just this story? You know.
Or just the first name. You know what I mean? I feel like not using the last name is a pretty big way of keeping them
Yeah.
safe.
Unless his name's super unique.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. My son Max is 14 years old and is the same age as my older nephew. Here's the thing, though. Max is a very picky eater.
Okay.
All right? He has an extremely small appetite and only eats certain foods. He is autistic and he has suspected AFRID.
Is Alfred?
No, so it's in all caps. AFRID.
AFRID. Avoidant restrictive food intake disorder.
Oh, okay.
It's an eating disorder. Children with AFRID are extremely selective eaters and sometimes have little interest in eating food at all. They may eat limited variety of preferred foods, which can lead to poor growth and poor nutrition. Okay. Fair.
Okay. I was very worried when we booked this restaurant because I didn't know if it would cater for Max's specific needs. He only really eats pizza, certain soups, plain noodles and rice, chicken nuggets, fries, and steak. I was very relieved when we got to the restaurant and realized that they had a kids menu, which had a lot of food Max would like. The main menu was a lot of foods I knew he wouldn't touch. Plus, my brother-in-law was buying his kids a meal of the kids menu. That's why, because it was fucking. And his kids are Max's age. My other kids are 4, 7, 8, and 11. And they were happy with picking a kid's meal, so I asked Max to pick something from the kids menu, and that's when the problem started. Max said he was feeling hungry and brave, and said he wanted to try something else from the adult menu. I was reluctant because he had said this before and then not been able to eat the meal he ordered, and then we'd have to buy him another meal. Which most of the time, if you do that, if you get a meal for a kid especially,
Yeah.
and then they don't like it, you just tell the restaurant, hey, my kid didn't like this, and they usually take it back and let you order something else.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
I said that I didn't think he'd like the adult meals, so he should choose something from the kids menu. He got upset and started having what was probably the start of a meltdown. My husband got annoyed and basically told me to just let him have it. This made my mother-in-law upset because she thought I was restricting what Max ate. Anyway, he ordered something random, and as predicted, he didn't like it. And as I predicted, we ended up having to order a chicken nugget meal as well. I told my husband we probably should stick to foods we know Max likes in restaurants, but at home he could try the new foods. That made him angry because he thought that Max should be allowed to explore new foods and we should encourage it. So now my husband's annoyed at me, and my mother-in-law thinks I'm restricting Max's diet. So am I the asshole? No.
No. I
think
would
it's pretty
also-
straightforward. No.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, started out pretty okay, that's an interesting, the title was interesting, but no, I don't think you're being an asshole. I think you're trying to do what you thought he would be most comfortable with. And sometimes you do that and kids get mad at you. I mean, I remember being that kid, and I was never a picky eater, obviously, but I definitely was oh, you're trying to help me? Well, now it's a problem. And then I would just get real rambunctious about it. So, Yeah, from my opinion, not the asshole for sure.
Yeah. And I agree with her. I think you can give him all kinds of new foods at home.
Yeah.
But at a restaurant where, like, especially if he's prone to, like, causing a scene over stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just give him, you just make, all right, dude, you're getting nuggets or whatever. Because it's just annoying to try to have to deal with in public.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because Emmett can be difficult. And so, when we're at restaurants, I'm just like, order whatever you want, whatever you're gonna eat, and not cause a fucking scene about.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're an asshole at all.
Yeah.
I think the husband is not looking at it the right way.
Right.
Because she already said he can try new things at home.
Yeah.
Which is a safe environment. If he does, you make a little bit of whatever you're trying to make him have. If he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
You're not losing money.
Yeah. And also potentially, like, getting him all riled up so that, yeah. That's what happened when we go, like, when my brother, his wife, and kids go out to eat. Like, my nephew's very picky. So when we go out to eat, like, he gets a very, like, his parent, well, and it also he's 4, but they order for him because they know exactly what he's gonna eat, and they're like, we're just gonna order, like, this is what he's getting, it's fine, and but it works out. Is Emmett very picky or no?
He can be.
Yeah.
The kid would eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for every meal, whenever I have him, if I'd let him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I mean, it's good to know that you got old reliable in the tank. Like, if you're ever like, all right, just make peanut butter jelly, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah. Anyway, not the asshole. Did the people agree or no?
They did agree.
Okay.
Not the asshole.
Is it like a close victory? Because I feel like some of these, it's like very obvious that we don't think they are being an asshole, and then the crowd's like, well, this percentage is not the asshole, but then the combined percentage of everyone's an asshole and you're the asshole adds up to bigger than the other one, you know?
So it's 42% you're the asshole, 38% not the asshole, 14% not asshole.
Okay.
So what, 60 almost?
It's
50 something percent?
Yeah. 58 or something like that. That's still pretty close. I mean, and maybe a lot of these people that are voting might not have or have spent any meaningful time around picky eating children to know, but
it also doesn't sound like her son is that weird. I know he's picky, but like, where did it list it? I guess it didn't. I could have swore that it listed. Oh yeah, he only eats pizza, noodles, chicken nuggets, fries, and steak, and I was like, that just sounds like a normal 8-year-old's appetite.
Yeah. Wait, how old is the kid?
I'm not saying, obviously I don't know the kid.
14?
The kid's 14.
Yeah. I mean, that's not that abnormal. I feel like chicken nuggets, pizza, steak is interesting. I feel like, if anything, steak wouldn't be on there if they were too picky, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right.
Not the asshole.
They agree with us.
Fuck them.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck the haters.
Oh, man. Let's see if I can remember. We'd like to thank our friends, A Real Creature Feature, the Macabre Emporium.
Nice.
The Society of Cryptid Hunters. It's that one where he reads off about the history.
The dumb bitch.
Oh,
yeah.
Remedial Scholar.
What is that dumb bitch's name? Yeah. Pretty great episode this last one that came out. The Challenger explosion. Pretty interesting, if I do say so myself. I think it was interesting. If you're listening to this, go watch the YouTube, because I have 0 views on YouTube and I use pictures, and so you can see what I'm talking about. Especially with that, like that one and the art one I did, I feel like those are like 2 episodes where you kind of need visuals to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. That one, because it's very technical, and if you don't have an understanding of rockets like everybody else does, it can get a little confusing. So anyway, yeah, check those out. That'd be great.
You know what I know about rockets? Rocket fuel burns hot enough to melt steel. That's
Oh,
what I know.
yeah. You know what I know about rockets? If you're a rocket scientist, it doesn't impress Shania Twain. So,
Yeah. There you
go. That's it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I've had enough. Peace out, bitches.
Tip your bartender.